When we come over here, we can see a big list of characters and their last reruns. That should be inherently obvious. Obviously, Tainari doesn't count, Dia doesn't count, and just any standard 5-star won't count, but there won't be any more in this. We see here that in the middle of Tainari and Dia, we have Albedo. But the thing is, Albedo was on the Chronicled Wish banner, and I really don't get why that didn't count for him having a run. So I don't think this counts. But essentially, top 3 are just characters which haven't had a rerun. This guy technically had a rerun, but these 2 are standard characters, so it makes sense. Let's get over down to Shenhe, right? This is like the one everybody talks about. I'll get onto like some more after this. But Shenhe hasn't had a rerun. This is pretty old as well. But Shenhe hasn't had a rerun for 20 months and 10 days, right? If you want to put that into perspective, that is over 1.5 years, right? 1.5 years for a single character. Now imagine you're a brand new player, right? When you played 1.5 years ago. Or you're a new player now. And you see a character you like. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to save for this character when they get a rerun, right? Now the problem with 5 stars now is that reruns aren't guaranteed, right? There is no time where a 5-star rerun is guaranteed, and there's no time where a character will have a guaranteed rerun. But there's times like this where you can wait 20 months without a character, right? My point being is that 1.5 years is outrageous for a character within a video game, right? There have been people who have been waiting since this rerun, have been saving up their pulls, and they've literally not pulled for over 1.5 years. And we don't know when this is going to happen because there's no speculation when she's going to be released. It makes no sense for her to be released in the next updates. So we're just going to have to sit there and wait until she's rerun. My best course of action is she'll be rerun around the next lantern the right time. That makes the most sense to me. But if she's not out by then you might as well just call it quits. Next up, we have Ganyu. Now, Ganyu is pretty explainable as, you know, both of these are crowd characters anyways. Crowd characters, especially Ganyu, have just fallen off tremendously because freeze doesn't really work anymore. She's had 4 runs and she hasn't had a rerun for like 1.5 years or so, with basically a 1 month difference in between them both, which is kind of insane. And this just shows like, there is no guarantee. If you really want a character, there is no guarantee they're going to come back within enough time. There have been characters which have got reruns months afterwards. There have been characters that have came out after these characters had a rerun banner, then got their rerun banner before this rerun banner came out. And one example would be Hazel down here, right? Hazel hasn't had a rerun in over a year. But we have a character like Sethos, which I think he got a rerun like, yeah, he's right here. He got a rerun on this banner, right? And if you can look, all we had to do is wait like 5 months, maybe 6 months, which is diabolical because we still haven't got a Hazel rerun. So how is this brand new 4-star getting a rerun before Hazel? And that's the big problem here. But this is not a 5-star, right? Technically, it's still a bit part of the rerun problem, but you know, it's slightly different. Now going down to Eula here. Eula was also on the Chronicled Wish, so it does make sense for her to, you know, not be here. But as you can see, this list is kind of outdated because Hu Tao is back after being gone for like a year, which is like, come on, what's the solution to this? And it's really simple, and a lot of people may say it's not simple, but it's just to add a 3rd banner. Like we had the Chronicled Wish. That's not what I mean. Don't add a Chronicled Wish, add a banner, or literally just do like the same banner system now, but just add one, just slide one in there. And you'll have room to have 2 rerun characters and a brand new limited character. And during second phases, you'll literally have 3 rerun banners. And in that case, you can eliminate characters that haven't been rerun in ages, like Shenhe. Even though Shenhe and Ganyu are really like underwhelming characters, you can just slot them in there alongside 2 already powerful characters, which in theory and in practice would work. Because if there's fans of like that one character, they'll pull for that one character. But if these 2 characters that are getting pulled alongside with this one character are good, then that also means that the whole player base is going to focus on these 2 as well. Because when a character like Shenhe that not a lot of people want, or Ganyu get reran, she takes up half of the slots of the character that could be reran. And people do complain, they're like, why is this person getting rerun? Why is this person getting rerun? And rerunning underwhelming characters, it just kind of leads to this. So if we had an additional banner where we slotted these useless characters, where it was like, okay, so it would literally become like a thing in the community where the 2 banners would be amazing, right? And then the 3rd character would be like a rerun banner for a character that hasn't had a rerun in ages. like Albedo, Shenhe, Ganyu, Eula, Klee. I don't understand not Kokomi, because Kokomi is still not that much of an old character. Hu Tao is like also a very powerful character, so I do understand why she doesn't get a rerun that much. But let's say like Riesli, he's still pretty new, but after some time, he could definitely get like a separate rerun banner in my opinion, because honestly, he's not that good. This guy has never had a rerun. That's the worst thing. The cryo character treatment is terrible. This guy has never had a rerun. It's been a year and he hasn't had a rerun, which is actually really, really terrible. Because at least when you look at characters like Shenhe, she at least had 1 rerun. Ganyu had 4 runs. You know what I mean? And then you go over to Riesli and he's only had 1 run like ever. And it's just insane to look at sometimes. But yeah, when you go down here, it kind of becomes like a more acceptable range. Like Nouvelette, which will gain next patch, 7 months. Like, that's all right for a character of his stature. Like, that's amazing. Kaz was amazing as well. Arlecchino, she's due for a rerun. She's very much due for a rerun soon. Lily's getting a rerun next patch. No one really cares. But if you go down here, it starts becoming more and more acceptable. And I'd say around the 7 or 8 month range is when you should really start rerunning characters, not waiting. Instead of waiting for the 20 months time frame. Like this is insane work on a character that doesn't even have a Chronicled Wish banner. 20 months is insane to wait for 1 character. So you know what? I think they need to slot in a 3rd banner. There's so much characters in this game. There is so much like more additions into this game. There is not enough characters for 2 banners. And that's what I think. We are running out of space for these banners because there's characters that get pushed back 20 months. And that this right here is evidence we need a 3rd banner, or we need some kind of compromise to be able to get these characters that haven't been reran in ages, because this luck-based system, or this chosen system where it's never guaranteed. It's never guaranteed when a character is going to get a rerun, if they're even going to get a rerun. It's never ever guaranteed. Look at a character like Sejun, right? Sejun will probably not get a rerun for a really long time. She like is such a flop of a character. As much as I would want her to be good, she's not. So Sejun is such a flop of a character, right? She won't get a rerun for ages, but there's no guarantee when she'll ever come back for the people that do want her. And that's insane. How 1 month after Shen has run, Dia came out. And ever since Dia, we have never got a Shenhe rerun. Do you know how insane that is? Dia came out so long ago. So long ago. And we still haven't had a Shenhe rerun since then. I don't even want Shenhe that much. I'm not that biased, but I know people that do want Shenhe. And people that do want Shenhe are pissed because they're like, they want Shenhe, bro. That's all I'm going to say. Compromise 1 is to add a 3rd banner. Compromise 2 is to do something like Honkai Star Rail, because I'm pretty sure Honkai Star Rail reruns 3 characters at a time alongside a limited character. Like, I don't know what's going on that game, but I went on there like a few months ago and I saw that. So if that's the way it works in the Honkai, if that's the thing in how it is in the Honkai, then why isn't the system in Genshin? Because having 3 character rerun banners makes a lot of sense, especially if it's worse characters. Like, I don't mind if those characters that are getting reran are like Ganyu, Zhao, and like some other 3rd like neglected character, because that's fine. That banner will still earn money. Like, there's still fans that like every character. Like, there's dedicated, you know, Kave fans, Kirara fans, even Emily fans exist for some reason. No matter what character they put out, there will always be a demand for them, especially Shenhe, because if people see that Shenhe is getting a rerun after 20 months, they're gonna go into this banner with the mindset going, you know what, yeah, she hasn't been reran for over 20 months. How long is it going to be until she gets reran after this, when she gets a rerun finally? And that is what people just are going to have in the back of their head. It's going to be the fear of missing out, like basically every character. The fear of missing out literally drives like banner sales. It's the whole point of banners being there, because if you don't pull in time, you're not going to get the character. So yeah, FOMO is like the marketing tactic for gacha games. And if they just added like 1 banner with Shenhe alongside like a new character, or on a rerun banner with like Ganyu. Like, imagine Ganyu Shenhe banner. Like, okay, never mind, not Ganyu. Please don't rerun Ganyu. No one gives a shit about Ganyu. She's had 4 runs. If you wanted Ganyu, you got Ganyu. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. I definitely really want a Chronicled banner with Hu Tao on it, so I can get my C1. Even though the banner just literally left as I'm speaking right now, which means we probably won't get a Chronicled Wish banner with that until like Lantern, right? But yeah, I'm very salty I didn't get C1 Hu Tao. But anyways, that's about it for this video. I just want to say Genshin rerun situation is diabolical, and there's definitely some things that need to be changed in order to like actually capitalize off player want, and letting characters run to 20 months and 25 months. Like, that's so bad, because imagine you're a new player and you start the game and you're like, I want this character and I'm going to save until I can get them. And then you're saving, you're like, has this character been removed from the game? When is this character going to get a rerun? And then you check it and you'd be like, this character hasn't been rerun for a year. This character hasn't been rerun for a year and a half. And like, you're just sitting there like, I wasted so much time. Because that is so insane. Because most people that play this game are going to play for a year and a half. Like, there's dedicated fans. I'm a dedicated fan. But there's a lot of people that won't play this game for a year and a half straight. They'll play this game for 6 months. They'll play this game for a year. Like, the average player won't stick around for this game, right? If you're a dedicated fan, this doesn't affect you because you're going to wait anyways until this rerun ban is here. You're not going to quit the game in between the time of these reruns. You're going to stay there. You're going to stay pulling. You're going to stay playing the game. And that's the difference. If you're a casual player, you're not going to be waiting 20 months for one character. No one is. No, like... It's so bad. But anyways, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. And please, if you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. Comment down below. Even consider subscribing to me on a different level. I'm going to be posting exclusive members only videos if you're interested. If you're not interested, that's perfectly fine. But please at least take the moment to like the video, subscribe. That's free. And that's all I ask. Goodbye. And if you don't want to do that, that's completely fine. But you're a rude bastard, you are. You're one rude bastard.